morning. Have a nice Friday wherever you are, or Saturday, depending on what part of Oregon. Hey, Amazon, flash briefing.
Jamie, here's the latest from your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. Heat advisories and excessive heat warnings are covering more than half the people in the U.S. today. Excessive heat warnings persist in the Southwest. Phoenix is now facing its 28th day in a row of temperatures at 110 degrees or hotter. Amanda Wynn is a volunteer with the Phoenix group that provides help to people without homes who are dealing with the heat.
Ice and water, as much as like the food helps and the clothes help and all of that, the only way to stay a little bit cool is by having something to keep your food cool, something to keep your water cool. The temperature is crazy.
Excessive heat warnings are up for much of the Midwest too. Heat index values will be in the triple digits in cities such as Des Moines. There are excessive heat warnings posted for mid-Atlantic states as well.
Next year, it'll be like, oh my God, it's the hottest ever. Next year, oh, the hottest ever.
NPR's Windsor Johnston reports
go back through time.
The president
always
is expected to highlight gains in manufacturing jobs in the U.S. when he speaks in Auburn.
Name me one time in history they said, we've had the coldest summer we've ever had.
President Biden is expected to talk about
normal
how
temperatures,
his economic policies
always,
are helping workers.
And when have you ever heard them say, oh, it's a normal summer temperature? No, they always hype it up.
To this country. Things that the last administration was trying to do, and it was a joke. And this president is actually making it happen.
The White House has repeatedly touted Biden's record on the economy as he steps up his re-election campaign. According to the Labor Department, the U.S. has added more than 13 million new jobs since Biden took office, including 800,000 positions in the manufacturing sector. Windsor Johnston, NPR News.
Congress has adjourned until after Labor Day. After that, lawmakers will have just weeks to cut a deal to avoid a partial federal government shutdown. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Biden reached a budget deal last month that set spending targets for the next 2 years, but the House backed away from the terms of that deal. NPR's Susan Davis reports the Senate did the opposite.
The Democratic-controlled Senate kept to the terms of the deal, and with the support of Senate Republicans, passed all 12 spending bills out of committee by the end of this week with near unanimous support. Under pressure from an influential bloc of conservatives, the Speaker last month said the House would approve their annual 12 spending bills below the terms of the agreement. And they did. The Republican bills make deep cuts to domestic programs but protect the military. They also included provisions to restrict abortion access or block the Biden administration's efforts to expand it. Conservatives are pressuring McCarthy to draw a hard line on their position in negotiations this fall, even if that means risking another shutdown. Susan Davis, NPR News, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials are up 210 points. The NASDAQ is up 234 points. That's 1.5%. This is NPR.
Good chief, commander-in-chief, whatever you want to call it.
There are reports of an explosion in southwestern Russia today, not far from the border
things
with Ukraine.
Diplomatically.
The Associated Press is citing the Russian military, saying it shot down a Ukrainian missile over a Russian city. Russia says Ukraine executed a terror attack.
Some good people up front in the United
States.
States.
Reports of casualties.
Tell you that.
North Korea has held a military parade to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Korean War armistice. North Korea calls this Victory Day. Sei Woon-gong reports from Seoul, Chinese and Russian delegations attended the parade.
Leader Kim Jong-un stood between the Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and China's chief delegate and looked down at the parade ground in Pyongyang. North Korea showcased its expanding arsenal, including the newest and most advanced intercontinental ballistic missile, Hwasong-18. The parade did not reveal any new missiles. A new type of spy drone and attack drone made their first parade appearance. North Korea's Defense Minister Kang Sun-nam warned in a speech that the U.S. will not survive if it uses nuclear weapons against the North. Kim did not make a speech. For NPR News, I'm Se-eun-gong in Seoul.
It's still not fully clear who is in charge in the Western African nation of Niger. The country's presidential guard says it deposed President Mohamed Bazoum. It may be that different military factions are negotiating for control. Meanwhile, a Nigerian general has appeared on state TV. He's declared that he is in charge of Niger's transitional council. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News. If you're looking for a new way to support this show and public media, please consider signing up for the NPR Plus podcast bundle.
Let's not.
NPR Plus listeners get to
Amazon.
unlock sponsors.
Skip it.
In NASA news, media are invited to see the new test version of NASA's Orion spacecraft and the hardware teams will use to
The me
recover the
test?
capsule and
Really?
astronauts upon their return from space during the Artemis
your
2
test?
mission. The event will take place at 11 a.m. PDT on Wednesday, August 2nd at Naval Base San Diego. En una ceremonia celebrada la Casa Rosada de Buenos Aires el jueves 27 de julio, Argentina se convirtió en el 28º país en firmar los acuerdos de Artemis.
Same
El
news as
administrador de
always.
la NASA, Bill Nelson, participó en la ceremonia firma por parte de la agencia, y el ministro de Ciencia, Tecnología y Innovación, Daniel Filmus, firmó por parte.
Thunder, party at 4.
During a ceremony at the Casa Rosada in Buenos Aires on Thursday, July 27th, Argentina became the 28th country to sign the Artemis Accords. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson participated in the signing ceremony for the agency, and Daniel Filmus, Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation, signed on behalf of Argentina.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
NASA is elevating its digital platforms for the benefit of all by revamping its flagship and science website, adding its first on-demand streaming service, and upgrading the NASA app. With these changes, everyone will have access to a new world of content from the space agency.
All right, get the NASA app.
NASA is investing more than
Never had it.
$14 million
Maybe
in
it's
19
cool.
U.S.
Or
colleges
it will
and
be.
universities to grow their STEM capacity to participate in critical spaceflight research and prepare a new generation of diverse students for careers in the nation's science, technology, engineering, and math workforce.
Right
In
on.
Currently, in Seattle, it's 62 degrees
And
Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect
Mostly
intermittent
sunny,
clouds
clear
with a high of 78 degrees
Jeez,
and a
you
low
people
of
alive.
57 degrees.
78 degrees.
From
Yeah, that's
NASA.
going to be clear.
Media
And
are
sun.
invited to see the new test
Amazon.
version of NASA.
Off. There's not a cloud in the sky. For reals, man. Freaking weather, people. All right, Amazon. Tell us a joke. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
What are the influencers drinking at brunch? Mimosas.
Mimosas. All right. Well, let's have some beer. Oh my gosh, not a single cloud. I know it's kind of hard to see through this filthy window, but there we go. Our beautiful day, wherever you are. Peace, love, happiness.